Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Bravo. We're Black, and it's Black History Month. So, we save the best guests for Black History Month, honey. We had Preston on before when he was on Bravo's Summer House Martha's Vineyard, which is quote unquote on pause. And if it's has anything to do with me or Aaron, it's coming back. I don't care. Um, I have Preston Mitchum with me, founder of PDM Consulting. I mean, what doesn't Preston do? Part-time pop culture commentator, full-time Read a Bitch Down. I mean, DMV legend. I mean, like a bunch of different things that you can refer to Preston as. How are you? Thank you for coming on.
And thank you for that introduction. Listen, full-time read a bitch down. I'm gonna quote you, but
Well, yes.
I'm gonna have to take that. No, but I've been so good, so good. It's always a good day when a racist gets fired from TV. So
It's
I
delicious. We're recording this, you guys, just a mere not even has it been hours? Maybe like 2 hours after it was announced that Jill Zarin will not be on MAGA Wives, and I'm just waiting for Ramona to not learn
listen,
anything and maybe follow in her footsteps. We got
look,
one more
take Ramona with you.
and then we're talking, like, I feel like what can she I think the Oscars is coming up, so maybe she can
Mhm.
they like to act up around something,
Uh,
big, so maybe Sinners will win and Ramona will
yeah.
get online and be like, "There's just not a lot of people
Uh,
in no white people in Sinners," and I'm gonna be
yeah.
like, "Thank you, take
I'm
her
like,
to."
what diversity thing can happen to make someone say their hateful speech?
Mhm.
What
Yes.
is it?
Yes, let's see if Sinners, does what it needs to do, but, I've got a feeling they might try us. That's a
I
whole
oh,
different
I have a big
conversation.
feeling on that, yeah.
Whole different conversation about that, child, but let's
I still vent around Lupita Nyong'o not getting nominated for Us, and she also played 2 characters, and so she got so many snubs that season that I am still angry about it.
well, as you should be, because that is crazy, and then when we finally do get, like, the award for, like, the most beautiful, soft, like, movie, Moonlight,
Mhm.
and it happened La
I am
La
still
Land.
when I tell you I vent about that at least annually, because for Moonlight is one of my favorite movies of all time. Aesthetically, like the very slow nature of the acting, like I loved every second of it. And for that snub to happen of all movies, La La Land, and for there to be like even an attitude. I remember even him snatching the award and then shoving it in the camera and saying Moonlight. I'm like, you need to relax. So who was it? Jimmy Kimmel? Who said, why don't y'all just share the award as a Moonlight did not actually win? They did not get their chance to shine. And it makes me so mad.
Right, because it's, like, the one time that we did not play slaves.
Oh, right. Exactly. There was beauty, there was nuance. And they like, oh,
Exactly.
sorry. Y'all lost. JK.
I can't. Let's get into a couple of hot topics, baby. Okay, so
Mhm.
Jill Zarin is gone. A ding dong. We're
Yes.
waiting on Ramona Singer next. But personally, I don't really care about this show. I've talked about it with a
Oh,
couple of people. It's just like enough. So Bethany, she came out and she was like, I can't wait to get canceled. And she just did her little thing on TikTok too, but she
mhm,
dirty deleted hers. She said,
mhm.
when is there a line between people talking about their culture and their beliefs and politics? And I'm just like, do we not learn anything?
The line is white supremacy. Like, it's
Yeah.
like it's like, I think we've created well, we haven't.
Yeah.
I think society largely run by a lot of cisgender heterosexual white people, and if we're talking about reality TV, white women who've created this environment where they believe that all of their opinions must be accepted. Like, an opinion is something like, "I don't like bananas,"
Yeah.
or, "I think sweet potato pie is better than pumpkin pie."
Right.
Right? Saying that people should not be able to speak language during the Super Bowl or anything but English during the Super Bowl is not an opinion, right? Saying that diversity is a problem is not an opinion. Like, it is a fact that is rooted in something that's disgusting and harmful. And people are stating it like it is just this is my beliefs. It's like, your beliefs also can be harmful.
And then it's just always want to talk about the freedom of speech, and I'm like, freedom of speech, freedom of consequences, not the same thing.
Yes.
I don't. And then why you can talk about so much. What's
It's
that? What's not
also
an option?
It's also bullshit. The freedom of speech that they proclaim is also bullshit. I don't know if you know this. I talked about this a little bit online. This is certainly pre-Bravo. But in 2017, 2018, I was teaching, I still teach, but I was teaching then at Georgetown's law school. And I had tweeted something around the time around like basically something that was seen as really controversial, like, all white people are racist, all cis people are transphobic, all men are sexist. We have to unpack this work. Like, and so my point is, there are a lot of things that we are just innately just because of privileges and how we're raised and our viewpoints. Mind you, I've talked about, also said all cis people, of which I am, are transphobic and all men, of which I am, are sexist. Like, meaning we are born that way. That is how we're taught. That's how we're reared. We have to uncondition ourselves from this. After after a lot of white people essentially just got mad about the white people being racist, right? Never mind anything else.
No, they
They
don't.
were so frustrated that Charlie Kirk, may he rest, and Turning Point USA specifically posted my tweet on their professor watch list. After that, I was doxxed. And they said like I was a harm to the educational institution. So if you can still Google my name, Preston Mitchum, Professor Watch List, and it's still on there, right? And this is like almost 10 years ago. So I say that to say, if we really believed, if they really believed in freedom of speech, my words would have just been fine to use. Not only is it just my words and my beliefs, it's actually backed up by tons of research and data, but whatever. But they didn't care about that. They just said your opinion is harmful because you shouldn't be teaching liberalism and progressive ideas in an institution. So they don't really give a damn about freedom of
They
speech.
don't.
That is really gaslighting at its best. They're really just trying to create an environment where only their opinions matter, and I'm glad a lot of us are speaking up about it.
Yeah, it's just people. I think people are more tired than they've ever been before. I'm so
Mhm.
sorry that you were doxxed. I did see you speak about this when, whatever happened to Charlie happened. I saw you speak about it and I was just like, okay, but what you said not only calls out white people, but you're calling out yourself. Like this was just for everybody,
Yeah.
you
I was like,
know?
I also am talking about myself here, and I do this work every day. So I too had to reflect on my own biases and prejudices and unpack the way I learned about women and girls when I was little, even as a queer person, the way I learned about women and girls, and inherently as a cisgender person, how we impact or talk about trans people. Like I also had to unpack all of that, but
Yeah.
no one cared. They were like, I can't believe you mentioned racism.
Right.
And that's really what it was
At a time like this, it's
at a time
just
like this.
ugh, I can't. So, obviously, I can't have you on here and not ask, have you heard anything from Bravo, from the producers, from anyone of any kind of power
Mm.
about Summer House Martha's Vineyard? I know, obviously, it's probably not gonna be anything, but I would kick myself, and more importantly, my followers would beat my like, they really be on me. Have you
No,
heard anything?
let me tell you, y'all have been the biggest supporters, and we are so grateful. Like and I mean that very genuinely. Like every time I see someone on the streets or just at a bar, restaurant, etc., someone is always asking this question, which lets at least me know that we did our big ones and we tried our
Yeah,
hardest. And sure, there are configurations, there are things in a matrix that could have shifted, but I mean, one, that's not our role to play. Like
yeah.
we have nothing to do with that. But at the end of the day, I deeply believe that there was more space for us to create magic. And unfortunately, we have not heard anything. And and
God.
and and the sad truth also is that even at the earliest it could ever come back at this point within this configuration will be like 2028. And that is the part that really sucks, right? Because we filmed in the summer. We
Right,
didn't film last summer, obviously. We haven't
right,
received anything for this summer.
right.
So, it's just really unfortunate. It really is. And I never even know what to say about it because I'm like, I know we should have gotten our chance. Like, there are certain shows, in my opinion, most shows, all shows, unless they're problematic in nature, should at bare minimum get 3 seasons. Like, the 3rd season is when you really do reach a trajectory. I mean, take Southern Hospitality as I think, like, a prime example
Yeah.
as a show that
You're right,
really has
command.
reached a beautiful peak in season 3.
Yes.
And so I just think it's so unfortunate that, like, we didn't get that chance.
It's just such a missed opportunity, I feel, because now I mean, I it's just like, not only are we not getting it back, anytime soon, at least, it's just that there were so many things that could have been done to promote, to
Mhm.
set you up for success that would actually be positive to and conducive to the network in
Yeah,
making money and making a successful show and making a show that is diverse and is celebrated. Y'all could have crossed over with Summer House.
so
Y'all
many
could have
things.
been
Mhm.
aired right after. I mean, like, I think Nick and Carl are friends at this point. I just don't
Yeah. And me and
understand.
Carl are cool.
Yeah,
And I think that's what's frustrating, right? There is like an element of Bravo. I hope they ship this or at least figure out some very serious marketing strategies because the reality is they just wanted to put us on Black Knight, right?
mhm.
Maybe there was some data research that I'm just not privy to and that none of the cast is privy to, but I can't be convinced why we should have been on a Sunday outside of being a black show. Like, if we were seen as a spinoff of Summer House, it makes no sense that we would not have also tried to build a relationship with those followings as well. Naturally, Black people will wanna see this show, and then inherently, Summer House viewers will then be interested in Martha's Vineyard, right? Like, it just seemed
Yeah.
because I work in comms as well as policy, I'm like, I just don't understand how that wasn't a natural thought process outside of just saying Black. Right? Like,
Exactly. They're
this
like,
this
"Okay,
makes sense. And I don't even live in New York, right? I'm based in DC. I mean, but nonetheless, DC is a New York is a hop,
that's
skip,
the
and a
same."
jump away,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm in New York so much that it's just like it is what it is. But even for speaking specifically of my friends and cast in New York,
Mhm.
they a lot of them hang out.
Yeah, I
And
see
so
all the time
yeah,
on
like
stories and
yeah, Jordan and Amanda are cool, like,
Mhm.
Carl and Nick, like, I talked to Carl, like, it's just it's so and even when some more of the blacker cast were on there, I'm friends with Mia, I'm friends with Gabby, like, even Danielle and I still communicate. So it is just interesting, like, the people who the melanated folks who were once a part of Summer House. I just feel like there was better ways to use people, and I don't mean use like like in a negative way, but I mean like use people
no, like,
you
promotion.
promotional opportunities for those folks. But so yeah, so I'm always gonna be a little bit jaded even
Yeah,
about it because it just feels like there was not a lot of intention behind marketing and promoting us. And then even when the decision to be put on pause, the fact that no one said, "Hey, we should make sure a couple of these people are actually on the next season of Summer House." It just doesn't. It almost feels like
right.
building you to celebrate yourself and then just dropping you immediately when the show gets paused.
Yeah, oh my god, because it's just like, okay, maybe we won't have the show right now, but that doesn't mean that we don't need to ever see this cast again,
Hmm.
especially because you guys are genuinely friends. It's
Yeah.
it's weird. And then now we're at the point where they are trying to build this new cast on Summer House because they're gonna do In the City. So it's like,
Hmm.
hello, this is a great
It
opportunity
makes
here.
sense. And I know there were some rumors and rumblings, but, in my opinion, shows aren't real until literally the check is cut and I see the episode, right? Like,
Mhm.
there's so many brilliant minds that are coming up with different shows that never get greenlit. And so even when I hear rumors, I'm like, that means nothing until I actually see an episode. Hey, and
One thing about me wait, when's your birthday?
March 3rd.
Oh my god, it's almost your birthday.
It is. It's my 40th. So I'm trying to hey, look, trying to figure out what Imma
Do
do.
you have yeah, I'm nosy. Like, what do you
I
what
still
do you
don't
wanna do?
me and my husband have really been talking about this because the way I do not know, and usually I have, like, my thoughts in order and plans in
But that's
place.
such an amazing birthday, especially for Black people because we, like, never age. Like,
Yeah, right.
you have to do like, you gotta do it up, but that
Yeah.
probably puts more pressure on you to feel like you have to do something
You
big.
know what? That's what it is, and usually, I don't let society dictate like, I don't really get moved by, like, societal expectations, but
Right.
let me tell you, it's kicking my ass this time, though.
But it's
I
like
can't
people wanna come and celebrate you, like, you've been here 40 years, like, you show up for everybody, you're a good friend, obviously, I saw you on TV and I see you through social media, but I can honestly say, like, people talk about you, like, you're a good friend, so people just wanna show up for you. I can tell by the way you're passionate about things that you go to bat for your friends and your family and your loved ones, and, I mean, you have to do something that includes everybody because it's really beautiful to
Yeah.
see who wants to show up for you. Like it's really like a reflection of like who you built in your life and who wants to come in your life and show up for you and have this fun and celebrate having 40 years of Preston on this earth.
You better preaching to me. Look. No,
Like you are
we were
so
quite
loved. Like
no, we were quite literally texting about this today because my husband felt he has to travel for work on my birthday, and he felt so he was like, "Do you mind?" I was like, "I actually really don't." Even if I did, I'm like, "Whatever." It's actually not that big of a deal that day, as long as we celebrate.
yeah, in general.
Because I have so many friends and loved ones that I know will celebrate me on the 3rd. I'm
Yeah.
like, "We'll just save something for the weekend." So it will be finalized
I mean,
soon.
black people are our birthday the whole month
Oh, it's the
usually.
whole month,
Yeah.
sometimes the whole year. So,
Especially
but yeah.
for one like this, yeah, it
Mhm.
absolutely is your year, like
Yeah. Can I tell you this though? The most interesting things I receive from viewers and fans are, I don't know, maybe because I've always been a man of the streets, like I've always been outside. but
that's right.
but when I tell you, I would like just go to any club, especially when the season was just on. Even I would just go to bars, clubs. They're like, I can't believe you're here. I'm like, where else should I be? Like
You're
y'all.
on TV, I
I'm like,
know it.
I am in the streets. So
I know that's right. I know that's right, so I feel
yeah.
like the 40th has to be you in the streets.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's so funny. I did a party last year for my 39th, and a couple fans hit me up and they were like, "Hey, do you mind if I show up? It may be weird because we're not friends." I was like, I would have never posted this publicly if not. I'm like, I understand what it means to post something publicly. Any weirdos can also come. I'm like, but
Yeah,
people who show love can also be there. And my friends would never let anything negative or harmful to happen. So
yeah,
I'm like, actually, please come. I would love to hug your neck and stay around and meet somebody. And I think people thought I was joking until they came. And when I tell you they had the best time, and I'm like, I felt I've just always been that person. Like I really believe in that type of environment at all times, pre and post TV for that matter.
I love that, so definitely think about it, do some multi I just feel like since it's, you know, 4 okay, 40 that's 4 decades, you got
Mm,
4 different things to do, it's 4 weekends in a month.
yeah.
Like, just do
Look,
4 different things,
uh,
something lit. We've
I love
always
that.
talked about our love of eating some crab legs. Maybe we
Uh
can go get some crabs one weekend, that is also works. I mean, booty club,
huh. Uh
like,
huh.
there is just so church, like,
Uh huh. No, there's
it's
so
so
many things to
much.
be done. No,
Oh,
I appreciate. You know what? My mind is really rolling, so I appreciate that.
yes, because there's no and it's closer than you think because
Yeah.
it's almost
Oh, it's a
Valentine's
few
Day.
weeks away. So
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks, like, it's
yeah, it
Valentine's Day
is. It is.
already, and I'm like, "Hold on, this the
Look,
year just started," and
okay, look,
January was so long,
it's almost
but
the
then
middle of
now it's
February.
like
It was weird. Like January clearly didn't have any plans. I'm
mhm,
like, and now February. I'm like, how's it February 10th?
exactly. Well, I'm just glad that we're catching up, obviously, on camera, but I brought Preston here, you guys, because you know I've been talking Traitors with someone every week, because when I talk about myself, I just rumble, and then I be listening to myself back, and I'm like, "There's nothing in my head, it's just a tumbleweed
No,
sometimes." So, I'm like, "Who better?" Especially because you be all up and down the Thread streets, we love Threads over here.
love of threads.
Literally, and you'll just say something, and it'll be just one random thought that you have, and it'll get, like, 5,000 likes and 2,300 comments, and it's just like, "Wait, he didn't even like, what is going on?" Threads is just so fun like that,
I
and
love threads.
me
Threads reminds me of like old school Twitter. Like the
And I
2015,
wasn't
16.
there, like, I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
why, like, everyone just did not fuck with me on Twitter. I would just
Yeah.
say something, no follows,
Oh,
no
yeah.
responses, like, it was just like, "Boo."
It's
Um,
probably because you weren't mean.
yeah,
Because let me tell you, old school Twitter was like old school Rihanna. Like, I
yeah,
can always tell a new Rihanna fan versus someone who was a fan before. Because
no,
I'm
you
like,
don't know
y'all,
her.
Rihanna was ruthless.
You don't know her,
Yeah,
baby, when she let me not.
like
Let's get
her,
into it.
that her and Sierra drama, I was still like, oh, Rihanna,
Good luck booking that stage, you
Rihanna.
up.
She had
Oh,
me stressed on Twitter back in the day. But nonetheless,
yes.
that's what Threads reminds me of. It's like and
Yes.
people's comment sections on Threads. I feel like I'm just on Threads just so I can read people's comments.
Yes, me and my friend Kendrick of the I Cannot podcast. Hey Kendrick, love you so much. Um, we always like send each other just literally comments,
Uh-huh.
comments. Like we don't even like comments.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's gotten better over the last few months because more black people have come
Mhm.
over from Twitter. So anytime Elon does something stupid, I'm like, yes, because that means we're going to get more black people on Threads. And I
Exactly.
love Threads. They have also want to disclose they have been very nice to me. They've flown me out. I do partnerships with them and they really believe in my platform.
Oh, I
So
love
I'm
that.
appreciative of Threads and they have a new feature that will be rolling out tomorrow, you guys, that I'll be helping launch. So when y'all see me thread tomorrow, please comment because your girl need the engagement. Okay, they trusted me to help y'all with this, but the way that it connects you with your people, everyone is watching one thing, or if you click on one thing, it'll show you a bunch of different things about that same subject. I just love the way that it gets to
Oh,
know
I love
you. Like you
that.
build your algorithm brick by brick on threads, and that's why it's so
Yeah.
fun. So
I
when
love that.
Traitors comes on, baby,
Look, I've been going
that's
through
what
it this
we
season on
see.
Traders Online.
Preston is like, I'm like, well, whether I agree or disagree, I'm like, this is going to be good. I'm like, yes.
Look.
This last episode was the episode where Candace was unfortunately booted, but not before she took Colton's ass out. And I felt like even though she, will not be winning traders,
Mhm.
whatever, cool. I felt that she executed that flawlessly
Mhm.
because I know it's a Tyler Perry quote from that Taraji P. Henson movie, and I love a Tyler Perry movie. I don't care. Like, she will burn the house down with her in it
Mhm.
as long as she is able to get
Yep.
what she deserves. And
Yep.
and Colton deserved to leave because who
Mhm.
did Rob think he was? Y'all thought
Listen.
it was gonna be y'all two white
Yep.
boys conspiring
Yep.
against me after you sent the
Yep.
housewife home and you already putting my name out there? Like,
Yep.
absolutely not. Colton went home at the beginning of the show. Throughout the show, we see Candace and Rob. I mean, in the turret, they talk to each other. Obviously, the tension is thick. Cut the
Hey.
tension with a knife. They have a conversation, and you can just tell that Rob is like, "Oh, she's taking this too seriously. Like the game is a game." And I am just getting heated as usual because obviously, like when she does what she does, it's bad sportsmanship. But when you're
Mhm.
explaining how you're playing, it's not bad sportsmanship. What is the
Yeah.
double standard? What did you think about the beginning, the Colton of it
So,
all? And obviously, y'all had a little back and forth.
look,
Like
that's
there
why I
was a
was
lot.
like, Colton is for me getting exactly what he put out.
Right.
For folks who may not know,
Yes. Tell the people, y'all.
many of us were obviously reading Colton for filth online.
Mhm.
Because there, and that was mostly around Tiffany in the beginning. Because that is a banishment that still frustrates me.
Yeah.
And again, this is a show. People can say whatever they want to around like it's just a game. I have a lot of asterisks to put there because there's such a privilege with being able to say this is just a game while ignoring everything else that's attached to like identities and pretending that none of that ever plays a factor into how people create gameplay. It frustrates me so much. But nonetheless, Colton saw my tweet or
Thread.
my thread
Yeah. Mhm.
that essentially says something to the effect of like, "We don't want Colton anymore as a gay person. He can be straight again." I think for anyone who has at least 5 rocks in their brain
Yes.
can understand that it was a joke, right? You can call it poor taste, you can call it whatever, but everyone clearly knows this was not a comment on like his recent coming out experience, which I have a lot of thoughts about that. I'm gonna keep that moving though, because whatever.
Mhm.
Whatever. I'm
We know.
not whatever.
It ain't no
I
time
have
of the
a
day
lot of thoughts
because
about
I
that to
was
be honest.
there. I was there on The Bachelorette when he was wasting them women's time,
Yeah,
jumping over fences, running behind cars.
you know what? I'm gonna make a comment and let it be what it be, right? So, some people have said, as a queer person, I think I get really bothered by this idea of like people trying to explain queerness in very disingenuous ways. We clearly know that being queer is not something you just wake up and discover and say, aha, I'm queer, right? Most of us battle it through our lives for a long period of time. We may have girlfriends or boyfriends along the way because we're discovering identities. Sometimes it's based on fear or whatever. No one will convince me that you can audition for a couple of reality shows, be seen going through producers, which means you are showing interviews, shirtless chest, pictures, your social media profiles are being seen, etc. And then suddenly a year later, after not being picked and then being picked back on another season and picking someone that ultimately didn't work out, and then going through something with your ex-girlfriend who allegedly said she was being stalked and put a tracker on her car, and restraining order was ultimately like done away with, but at the end of the day, like, that is what it is. And then a year later being like, I've always been gay. I'm sorry. It's something about it as a black queer person who would have never had those privileges to be in any of those spaces
Right.
to create my own narrative in that way. I'm gonna say there's a component of it that's bullshit. And it could be a lot of things, but I'm like, don't insult my intelligence about someone's desire to be seen on reality TV, to be seen as the next great coming, as this former football player. Like, there's so many different components there that I think people are just like, oh, y'all don't do that to him. He didn't know. Okay, sure. There's a privilege with you believing that, but me and my people, we've had these conversations. We know what we know. Anywho,
And y'all are allowed to say it. That's the thing.
like, it's just like I'm so sick and tired of people telling black people and black queer people and black women to not feel a way when we're basing it on our lived experience, when we're basing it on seeing people receive privilege at the expense of us oftentimes, and like we shouldn't feel a way because we're taking it too seriously. Fuck y'all. And I mean that with a
Period.
capital fuck. Like, it's nonsense. But Colton obviously had his feelings and he posted my thread on his Instagram page, which has millions of followers.
That's the key.
And that's the key, because it's like so many other people were also talking about you. So many other. You took this one post from one person,
The
identified it.
funniest and probably least offensive because I saw
Yep,
way
yep,
worse.
yep, yep,
He
yep.
treated you like Michael Rappaport,
Right. And I was
and that
like,
says a lot.
yep. And I slid in them DMs. He did not respond to my DM, by the way. Because at
Mhm.
this point, it's like, let's battle at this point. Because this is also bigger than this joke. You are an entire stalker. And you expect people to just forgive you and you to be redeemed because you came out with coming out Colton in a show with Chrissy Teigen. And we should just forget about all the harm that you've caused. And then try to like ignore it. The redeemability tour is not obviously in effect. And so,
You were not allowed to ask him in interviews about it, and,
right.
some people speculate that it was because of an NDA or because maybe there's a payment or whatever the situation may be. The truth is that he did the show Coming Out Colton, and now he's trying to find he's trying to do basically the Dylan Efron. He's trying to be Dylan
Yes,
Efron, and he's nothing like
absolutely.
it, nothing of the sort, to quote Tiffany.
Right.
And and but without that, I feel like if he would just say, anything about it. Like, even if he wouldn't directly say, "This is what I did. I stalked the girl. I did that." I know that sounds crazy, but
Yeah,
if he would have at least acknowledged that he did some crazy shit in
yeah.
the past and went on, sure. But you were not allowed to ask him anything about it in interviews.
Here's the thing, and this is when my attorney brain is going off, right? You can name what was attached, and you can say there's paperwork, and legally I can't speak to the specifics. What I can say is I am trying to be a changed person,
Right.
and this was an opportunity. Like there's a way, baby. Pay more money for PR and marketing and crisis communications.
A
Like
blanket statement.
there's a way you can say something, but just to ignore it like it didn't happen and then expect people to just forget about it, even if there was specifically an NDA attached or something legal attached, people just don't forget things. And they shouldn't forget things like
Eesh.
something that
Especially
feels
something like this, though. It's not like he, just said something offensive or
yeah,
he said something about her or he no, like, allegedly what he did to her was terrible, and then now
right.
you got your husband and your white picket fence and you're moving on. That girl and I saw, there's this guy who's not and it's a white guy, so I'm like, "Good, white on white crime, Black
Uh-huh.
History Month."
Right, right.
There's a I forgot the podcast name, but there's a white guy, he's like, "No, I'm gonna continue to talk about it," because what he actually did was
Yep.
financially drain her to the
Yep.
point where she was not able to continue fighting him in court, and
Yep.
that is how he silenced her, and I'm just like, "Ooh, get her again. Get her."
Yeah. And thankfully I have seen a lot of I mean, I've seen a lot of white women, of course, thankfully. But I've also seen a lot more white men than I expected really pushing back because I really think he thought that was going to be my metaphorical nail in the coffin. But
Right.
instead, everybody was like, "Oh,
Opposite
you got
effect.
Preston fucked up." Like,
Opposite effect.
so I was like, and so this is just creating like a worse thing for him. And and there's some, and it didn't have to be that way. It just didn't have to be that way. So I went on a tangent, but all that to say, I was not sad to see Candace enact that murder, and I also think it was smart, right? Like on one hand, I can understand the argument of like Rob clearly not going to be the person guest from that moment because him and Colton were buddies, but at the same time, it's like I think Candace just didn't care at that point. She's like,
Me
well,
either.
one, it's your buddy, so I'm trying to get rid of him, and two, he's too loud. So
Yeah.
it it may be like this is suspicious of me, but I also don't care because he's no longer here. And so I think those are one of those like we're gonna burn this all down. Like
Yeah.
I'm coming too.
I don't care because at the end of the day, I'm Candace Dillard, babe.
Hmm.
Colton, you actually needed this way more than me.
Hmm.
And actually, this was a terrible way to play because every time he would send someone home, he'd be like, "Ah, who's next?" Like you
Yep.
have no sense of remorse, no nothing. And then in real life, you're also handling things terribly too. I mean, you got your little sympathy moment from Michael Rappaport, and I was happy to kick Michael Rappaport just because I didn't like him. But if it was
Right.
someone else, I might have fought a little harder. But,
Same. Same.
like, it wasn't giving what he thought it was gonna give, so as soon as he went and he got that murder,
Yep. I was like,
envelope, I was like, "I don't care." I knew that it was kind of the nail in the coffin for Candace, but
mm-hmm.
then also I feel like if you guys are smart at all, ask yourself, "Why is she saying Rob
This
twice?"
this is what's wild to me. Well, first of all, did you see who replied to my post about so my
There's
thread
a
said,
lot of people,
oh
like,
wait,
so who?
well one in particular was like, at least Colton got Candace off before she left. That's the biggest win this season in my book. And Lisa Renna replied, "Me too."
I know you fucking lying.
I said, "Oh, oh." I mean, just in case she decided to delete it, I took a screenshot so fast. I said, let because people gonna think
That's
I'm
what you gotta
lying.
do.
Let me save this.
That's what you gotta do, because that's what happened when she called him when she called Colton a stalker.
Uh-huh. I
She
said,
called him a stalker in all caps. I was like,
mhm.
"Lisa,
Yeah, I said, "You better make this follow-up video, girl. We know
come
we
on,
know this
green M&M."
we know this traders post is about that." But
What
but
are you
you're s
thinking, like, gameplay-wise? Like, this whole episode
it's
about
tricky for me.
yeah, tell
So
me.
I think so even going back an episode around the throwaway vote,
Okay.
I don't it's not something I would have done in that moment. At least I like, obviously, this is hindsight. I don't think I would have done that in the moment because, like, I think about, like, season 1. There are some moments, of course, loyalty can like trick you, but also the game really is traders. And so you really do have to think strategically in terms of, what will this vote look like for many people?
Mhm.
And if I was in, I as of now, speaking of hindsight, I think if I were Candace, I probably would have voted for either, probably not even Natalie. I probably would have voted for Lisa.
Had to because it was just too many it's too
It's too many eyes. Hmm.
when it's all said and done, it's too many eyes.
Yep.
Also, I'm thinking about if Monet was able to be there, I feel like she would have been it would have been such a good show
Hmm.
and such a different show. So, you weren't
Agreed.
able to save Monet in that moment, and I know that you wanna be loyal to the housewives, and I know y'all lost Portia, but you have Dorinda, you have Lisa, but they not black. And
Yeah.
also, like, it was just it's too many people looking at Lisa, so it would've been
Yeah.
understandable. But
Hmm.
me, I understand the throwaway vote because I'm just a spiteful bitch like
Well,
that.
I was gonna say that too, though. Like, that's why I didn't like some of the ridiculously incendiary comments because I'm like, I don't think it was stupid. I just think it was a vote that many of us wouldn't have done. But I also get it. It's kind of like I burn all this shit down. Like that's that's
Right.
kind of what it is. And so going back to this past episode though, the reason why it's hard for me to say Rob has great strategy. And it's only because like I'm great. I see what people are saying. Like I understand that they're just enamored with him based on his looks, based on the snake of it all. Like, come on, let's be for real. Like, but it's hard for me to say he has great gameplay because I think the faithfuls are just so not bright right now. And yeah, maybe it's both and, right? Maybe it's both and. Maybe
Well,
he
no, because the faithfuls actually said Eric himself was like, "I do not know what the fuck is going on?" Like,
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I know
Yeah.
Steven's a traitor," and it's just like, okay,
Or
is it
even when Eric at the end when he got the note from Johnny was like, "I know whose handwriting this is,
Yep,
Johnny." Now I'm like, "Okay, I being on a TV show, I know editing is a wonderful tool, right?" So I'm like, "Okay, so I can't lie. My brain is also like, okay, maybe that was edited. Maybe something can happen like in many ways." But I'm
mhm.
also like, I don't know. This is a little
No, but then you
inconsistent.
see when he finds out who
He's
the traitor
shocked.
is, he genuinely is
Mhm.
shocked that it's not Johnny.
And even Kristen, that sweet, sweet man. I said, you know what, y'all?
I know you fucking lying.
I don't even know what to tell y'all at this point. So when she said that, I said, just give Rob the money at this point.
Yeah,
Because at this point, y'all deserve to all lose. Like, because Candace laid it out on a silver platter. And so for me, it's like, unless, again, just going back to what can be the reality of editing, unless this is being edited in a way to
I
make it seem like nobody is guessing, but that part actually frustrated me this past episode. I'm like, why do y'all think suddenly she switched from the throwaway statement to like gunning for him? Like, you think this is random? I think
right,
any other season they would have caught traitor on traitor.
right.
But
I think that, like, okay, that the throwaway vote, sure, but this second time, I think that I'm like, "Okay, now I'm picking up the clue. I'm picking up what you're putting down."
right, one of them, like just one of y'all, and I don't think anyone said Rob. There was one person this season, I can't remember who it is, but there was one person who did say, "I feel like it could be Rob."
But that was, like, way earlier when, like,
Earlier, yeah. But there
there's
was only
so
one
many
person who's
there.
clearly is not
Yeah.
there, but I don't even think that person is there anymore. But I'm just like, how are y'all all so wrong? I mean, granted, right? The idea of traders is you don't really have a lot of evidence. You don't, you're usually just guessing. But I'm like, can someone at least use an educated guess? Like, all your guesses don't have to be random. They can be rooted in
An
something.
inference, child, an inference, okay? We
Right.
learned that
You
in
need-
elementary school, okay?
Right. Like use circumstantial evidence. Like give us something.
Because also when you keep thinking about, "Oh, this is a himbo. Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, he's so
Uh-huh.
calm." I'm like, "Oh, I don't trust him." Like,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
that would
that's my
that
brain goes off. Even Ron though, when Rob and Ron were sitting there talking,
Mhm.
Rob said to Ron, "Oh, I know everyone here thinks I'm just a dumb jock from Alabama," and Ron said, "I don't think that at all. I think you're
Yeah.
very smart." And
Because he was going home.
yeah, I mean, right, he was and then even later, someone asked him online, they were like, "Oh, did you think that was he was a traitor?" He was like, "I was going through my own thing. I wasn't even putting that together. I
Mhm.
just knew that what he was saying about himself was incorrect. Like none of us that was something he put on himself. None of us
Right.
heard Faithful say, "Oh, he's just a sweet dumb jock." He's like, no, none of them heard them say that. I just think they're infatuated with him. They're infatuated with him.
So if you were in the house now,
Mhm,
if you were Eric, obviously, like, I feel like he's gonna join and he's gonna become a traitor.
mhm,
W What okay, I think who would you start looking at if you were one of the faithfuls at this point,
mm.
and due to what? Like, obviously, we're talking about, like, from the outside,
Yeah.
we're watching it from the outside.
So we already
But
have
if
yeah.
you are there and, we're on this next episode that should be airing on Thursday,
Mhm.
if you're a faithful like a Natalie, like a Kristen, like a Johnny, who would you start looking at?
Um, I would have to think honestly, probably Natalie.
Mm.
Probably Natalie. I will say even as an audience member, the rushing to drink the potion was still really weird for
That was
me.
crazy to me.
Yeah, because I'm like, I get it. Like none of the traders obviously rushed to it either. And so I'm like, you can clearly come off, it can come off as like a panic, like I really do need this. But it was weird because I'm like, Natalie, no one was gunning for you at that point. Like there was no
Not to
one who
fight, though.
yeah, there was no one who mentioned your name actually. So for her to run and be like, "I don't know, it could be me." It's like, why do you think that though? Like you were I mean, no shade, you've kind of been a non-factor this season. So it's like no one has
Yeah.
really said, "I think it's Natalie, y'all. Let's get rid of her." So probably Natalie, and I would think likely Steven too.
Oh, yeah, Steven's
I,
a good one because that's another one that's quiet that
um,
is, he doesn't really give himbo, but I'm like, "Okay, he's from Laguna Beach," like,
mhm. No, yeah, like I think he's somebody who, yeah, I don't know where to put Steven. Traitors is interesting every season because there's always people who really don't say a word who makes it to the end. And I'm like, is that the approach? Maybe, you know,
but it's also like, do y'all not watch the show before y'all go on there?
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
sadly, I don't think many
study
of
the
them do.
show religiously before
Yeah.
I would go on there.
You should. I mean, like it's kind of. I mean, I maybe not watch UK and Australia and Canada, like, but the US version certainly.
Yeah, the US, 'cause I don't watch the rest, but
Yeah.
I heard that they're just as racist
Oh
as
yeah.
the US
The
one.
only one that has not really been is Canada.
Okay,
Yeah, they have a pretty yeah, we've seen yeah,
I
some
feel that's right.
it's worked out pretty decently for us a couple times.
Oh, Canada.
Look,
I
exactly.
might look
Oh,
check into that
Canada.
one. Let's see what's going on in
But,
Canada.
we have because we think about race a lot, like, I really do think about this, like, there are some people who come in and say, like, "Oh, well, this can't be race because Candace, decided to tell Lisa and kick off Monet." I said, y'all keep you like, anecdote does not equal evidence, right?
Well, yeah, and like look around, who's left?
Right, and I'm just like, at the
Natalie, be on your tippy toes.
right, right, and I'm like, at the end of the day, though, the last Black winner, and frankly, the last Black person who even made it to the what do they call it? I can't the fire,
Yeah,
the
the
la
end, the
yeah,
finale,
the
child.
finale, yeah, was season 1. Quite literally, season 1 was the last time. So I'm like, you're not gonna convince me otherwise that the show does not have a problem, that the people on the show does not have a problem with who they believe may or may not be traitors. Or at the very least, don't
Mhm.
wanna build with them.
Before we get back into traders talk, I would like to put some promo in the middle, child. Because at the end, they hear us wrapping up and they go to the next
Oh,
part.
yeah.
Okay. So, can you tell me anything that you are working on? Anything that we can support? Anything that we can do to be in the world of Preston?
Oh, I'm in the middle of I'm working on a book.
Ooh.
Hopefully, I don't know how much my literary agent wants me to share. What I'll say
Okay.
is
Well, that's
well,
enough.
what I'll say is, though, it's about silencing in Black America. Just think of the expression "children should be seen and not heard," and historically what that has meant, especially intra community. but especially what that means for like white systems and how they play into our own silence and censorship. So I'm writing from like a pop culture and historical perspective there. So that is
I can't wait.
like I can't wait to read it either. So like no, but that's the probably the thing I find most exciting that I'm working on right now. And yeah, like I mean, keep me prayed up. I have like many a conversations with folks in the TV world about some future projects, and so really hoping that those work out. It seems pretty promising right now, so really hoping that those work out too.
Perfect. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
So obviously, I want you on Traders.
Yeah, me too. That's the biggest one I want. I am never embarrassed to say that. I'm like, traders, I hope you're not embarrassed by me when y'all hear this, but like I please think about me.
You shouldn't be embarrassed because this is the thing. What I realize is that if you do not ask God and the
Mhm.
universe for what you want and be very specific about it,
Yes.
you might not get it or you might be blocking it from it. You need to believe that these
Agreed.
things can happen, and there's nothing with saying that you want something or any of that. So I
It's
think
just
that that's sweet.
exciting. And the thing
Yeah.
is for a number of reasons, right? Traders to me, I always joke with my friends. I'm like, look at me talking all that shit and be the first one out. Like, but no, but
It's
the
fine as long as you got there. I
listen,
got
hello,
there.
because that means my check cleared. So, like,
Exactly.
but no, but for a number of reasons, like, I really miss TV. Like, I don't say this. Well, no, I'm just gonna make a statement, whatever. I realize as after years of watching TV and loving reality TV and being on it, and then obviously going back to soul viewer perspective, I don't see many people like me on TV, on reality TV.
No, they're too
And
scared or they trying to put
mhm.
on a personality that is not true.
Yeah, and I miss it. I never thought I would miss that. Miss like being able to be in a space where I felt like I was actually changing conversation, changing perspective, having fun. Yeah, there were some stressful moments of battling friendships, some shift in friendships, but I think that was what the universe was going to do anyway. The TV was just the vessel for that. But I really miss it, and I think Traders is such a fundamentally strategic show that's about your own personality, how you get along with multiple groups, multiple personalities. Like, there's
Mhm.
something that's so fascinating and exciting about it. And I think I would do well as both a faithful and a traitor, honestly. And so it's also a challenge for myself. I really want I really want for that opportunity to even see myself and learn about myself in those environments even.
Right, and see what you would do in those situations and then
Mhm.
be able to watch it back, like,
Yeah.
the
And
rest
those
of
missions, I want people to laugh at me working out. You know?
that's what I'm scared of. People are like, "Would you ever?" Because 'cause they're doing, like, a regular person
They are.
traders,
And
and
so,
I'm like, "Mm-mm, not
so
me."
I promised myself that I was gonna take swimming lessons if I ever got cast.
Hey,
That's the one thing I did promise myself.
okay, it's coming up, child, so
Uh-huh.
start
But
soon.
right, exactly.
So who else would you like to see, like, on a cast with you? Who do you think, like, from
Ooh,
the Bravo world,
huh.
not just Housewives, Bravo world, would you like to see on Traitors?
Bravo World. Who would I like to see on Traders?
While he thinks, we have some
Yeah.
breaking news from Miss Zarin, who recently
Uh-oh.
got fired. She said, "They didn't even give me a chance.
R
I took it down right away. People make mistakes. I'm human." That's what she told. I hope y'all are watching the video version of this. I know that y'all fuck with audio, but please watch the video version of this because it is so funny.
What? You got
That's
the
what
fact that
so
Zoom just zoomed in on my face?
yes, at the perfect time. It did one of the Spike Lee dolly zooms. Like, the way that it
Oh,
perfectly is zooming in because you are just not having it.
mm-mm.
That is literally what she told In Touch magazine. It is absolutely insane. Yeah, so that's wild. And go to hell. I mean,
Yeah, like, please,
that's it.
please, like,
So
crazy.
yeah, who would you
I'm
say from Bravo?
This is so tricky for me because I really can't even think of any. Because 'cause I'm trying to think of personalities, I'm trying to think of what would
Who
I
would you
think
like to play with? Like if you got okay,
it's
so
funny
let's
because I
just
can
say
think of people outside of Bravo, but I'm trying to think of
mhm.
Who would I like to play with on
Yeah, like, or you know what?
Traitors?
Even if it's just like reality
Oh,
stars in general, if you can't think of Bravo, reality stars in general, who would you like to be in like the turret with if you got cast as
Taylor
a
Hill.
trailer? Ooh, yes,
Taylor
love her.
Hill. I would love Taylor Hill, actually. I would love to be in a tour with Taylor. Because we're cool, like, I see her personality, I see her brain, I see how she moves. Of course, I watched her season, but there's Taylor has something that is like a Jill of all trades. Like,
The
she's
girl
very
is everywhere as she
like,
should be.
she's very unique, and I really, really fuck with her. Um you know what? I would, of course, would say I would throw Benita in here just as a black person and just as
Mhm.
someone who I would make sure to defend every step of the way. Like, I don't get that is when the trickiness and emotional nature would come across for me too, because there are like going back to like even Candace a little bit, like Candace and Tiffany, even though Candace was a traitor and Tiffany was clearly a faithful and Candace knew she was a faithful,
Yeah.
those tears I think were very genuine
Yeah,
and
because
very
she's
real.
thinking about like this is another black woman, but also someone
Yeah.
who's a mother who like needs it. Like what?
Yeah. People really discredit the power of empathy.
Yeah, you're
And
human.
and I know how I am. And I can't I'm a crier. Like, I know I get very emotional. Like, but it's the empath in me. Like, I cried watching that episode, hearing Tiffany's voice. So I can only imagine, if this happened, if I was a traitor and Benita was a faithful, as an example,
Mhm.
and she was getting voted off. I can only imagine how I would have responded or how I would have voted even. Because again, that is the part where it is the game. There's a strategy with it. So you have to be strategic, but like you also can't be devoid of emotion, in my opinion. Like, I think people talk about emotion like it is so irrational and it's such
You
a
can turn
terrible
it
thing.
on and off, like, no, especially and that's what people tell me on reality TV, especially when I talk to people from, like, shows where they only film for a short amount of time, but they're like, "But we were literally together, and we
Yeah.
only had each other." So you
Yeah.
get to know each other in such a short amount of time, you can't the
Yeah.
outside world is pretty much closed off, like,
Yeah.
you really get to care for that person,
You
so
do.
I hear that a lot from
And
people on reality TV.
and maybe I'm doing too much, but I really believe there's like a level of sociopathy with like the it's just a game people. Because I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean that you don't become human? Your emotions are no longer attached? Like, you forget about people's feelings? Like, what does that actually mean? And so
Exactly.
yeah, I think that's the part that I just don't get it. It feels a little bit too just wreak havoc and cause harm and not give a damn because at least you won. Like, and I can't that again, I go back to Tiffany and Natalie. I don't know if you saw their back and forth on was it page 6, I think?
No, I didn't see that.
But essentially, during Tiffany's season, she won basically fan favorite.
Mhm,
And during I forget, they have a technical name for it.
mm,
But on and Natalie made a comment, and the back and forth was basically over, do you prefer being like winning or being the most liked person?
mhm.
And Natalie, of course, was like winning, and Tiffany was like, actually, I would rather people like me and think that I have integrity. And so Natalie was trying to be shady, essentially, and was like, oh, well, you've never won. And she was like, and you've never been anyone's favorite.
Period.
So
How
like,
about that?
yeah, so it's like, of course, and
Because literally, people literally liking you will take you so much further, and, like, that's what
yeah,
people don't understand. Because you could be on something 2 episodes, and people will still be like, "Oh my god," and you can be someone who everyone hates, and you can stay for however long, just like Colton, and still leave and look a fool.
I
So,
mean, look at Trishelle. I mean, like, it's just like I like won the entire season, and people were like, anyway, CT, good
yes,
job, right?
exactly.
So I would much rather. I mean, I would much rather both, but if I had to choose, I would much rather people say, you know what, it was a game, but Preston had emotion and some dignity intact.
And it's also people that, like, literally flip the board over at Monopoly talking about it's just a game. Like,
Right.
imagine a game that literally you win, like, what, 100,000 thousands of dollars and hundreds thousands of dollars at the end. You get
Uh-huh.
paid to be on TV, you get more opportunities the longer you stay. Like, it's more than just a game when it becomes at,
Exactly.
this grand scale, and it's only just a game when it comes down to someone that you don't like. So
Mhm.
please. But the
Exactly.
last question I wanna ask you is what do you think is going to happen? Like,
I
are the Traitors gonna win? Are the faithfuls gonna win? Is there some a twist or a turn that you foresee, possibly coming? What do you think just from where we're standing at now?
I based on now, I think Rob's gonna win. Like I don't know. I think it all depends on Eric, what he does and how he plays whatever decision he makes. If he's a traitor, obviously will come in. I mean, Rob will probably try to get him banished too. But but
Hey.
but if he comes in, maybe they can work together, etc. Maybe they can both win. I think if he decides to stay a faithful though, like he would really have to work overtime in people. Um convincing people. But
Yeah.
again, I hope that he can still use Candace as an example. I mean, I'm sure there are some rules he can't just say, "Hey, y'all, it's Rob," right? But
Yeah.
there are definitely things that he can do to strike. And I just don't. Eric has been wrong, probably the most wrong out of every single person on Traitors. Right,
Y'all thought that Sheree was the
right,
jits, but,
right. Eric be like, I
Erica's
feel.
like,
I mean, his eyes wrong, his ears be wrong. Like I'm like, okay, well, I don't even know.
"That poor baby."
Apple baby.
That's all
But
I
that's what I'm curious, what do you think is gonna happen? Do you have any ideas yet?
I think unfortunately Rob is going to win, because people are blinded by exactly what I'm blinded by. That's a
Mhm.
fine man
He
with
is.
tattoos,
Mhm.
and I also think that no offense, Rob, I do think that he's dumb. So I'm like, there's no way that he could outsmart all of us. There's certainly
Yeah.
no way. So I would probably just thinking
Mhm.
from that perspective, I'm like, it's everyone but Rob. But at the same time, when Candace did that throwaway vote and then she doubled down on it on the way out, I'm like, anytime someone on the way out says something, I
Mhm.
automatically like my radar goes off. So
Well, which is wild though, right? This is why the traders bother me. I mean, the faithfuls bother me this
especially
season.
Jam Jam. Jam
So
Jam
I
would
was
be as
that was the example I was gonna use. That's actually why the faithfuls bother me this season because I'm like, y'all just allowed Jam Jam's comment to be the ultimate like dagger into Lisa. Why? And again, wrong reason, right person. But it's
mhm.
just like if you allowed that just a couple days before, why are you like, I don't know anything?
I would be like, "Oh, actually, you know what? Jam Jam told me last time. Candace telling me this time. We gotta get
Yeah.
Rob out. We gotta get
And they find and yeah, the faithfuls they also do. I mean, again, when you have who knows, right? But I
yeah.
know, like, for example, they were upset and they used who was it? Was it Lisa? They used it against Lisa when she voted for Portia.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, but Candace, you didn't vote for Lisa. It's like, didn't y'all just say housewives don't vote for each other? I need y'all to pick something and stick with it.
Like, are y'all just not able to sleep at night? Like, what is going on? Where is the logic?
They move the goalposts every day.
So when Candace told you who won,
Mhm. No, funny enough, this is what I can say about Candace. Candace stays
I was
true to
trying to
her
get you slipping. I was
Candace
trying to
stays
get you
true to her
slipping.
contracts.
I
I
know. I
listen,
was trying to get you slipping.
no, there are moments I wish. I'm like, "Come on, friend, don't you wanna tell me?"
I'll be
No,
like, "Listen, you just say it on the phone, like,
I didn't even know
something in
honestly,
person." Like,
I thought Candace could have won still. Like, the way she literally has mums the word, and I've already respected that woman before, I really respect her now.
right, because the only reason I knew that she was going home was because Andy always has the person who goes home that weekend. I'm like, "What are we gonna do?
Yeah,
Can
I
we
hope they
stop
figure out a way to
doing
do
that?"
that differently too. Yeah,
It's been 4 seasons now.
yeah.
Stop, don't piss me off, okay?
Yeah, somebody else said that online too, and I was like, "You know what?
And they were
That's
like,
real."
"No, this person went." I'm like, "No, it's different. It's
Yeah,
different. She's going home."
yeah.
But as soon as I saw that she sent Colton home, I was okay with it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
right, right, right.
get him. I don't give a fuck. Get
Get her,
him.
Jade. Look.
Exactly. Well, it has been such a pleasure talking traders with you. I loved it so much. This is the perfect episode to talk it with you, and I can't wait to see you on Traders
Mm.
because then I can be like, well, I know someone that's on there, and it's all real guys. So looking forward.
Exactly. Listen, and then and I'll be back. I'll be right back
Exactly.
discussing my win or loss.
'Cause listen, either way, you got to stay in there as long as you can.
Like
Okay.
trying, like, and that's why every time at the round table, I'm like, you trying to kick me off because I'm black? You just gotta make it awkward for people, like
Oh my god, I love it, I love it. Good luck on your book. Obviously, when it comes out, tag us, DM us, send us a copy. I will
Absolutely.
definitely leave your socials in the comment section, but let people know where they can follow you.
All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all listening. You can always find me at Preston.Mitchum everywhere across social media. Also, my website is PrestonMitchum.com. That's honestly a totality of everything that I've ever done over the course of my life. So you may find some unique things about me that you never
The
knew.
resume is long and it's surprising, y'all. Okay, 40 years is not a long time
No,
on
right?
this earth, and you've done so much. It's like, slow down, okay?
Look, that you know what? My favorite quote that my judge that I clerked for years ago has ever said to me, Preston, you are so brilliant. All I ask you to do is slow down. And I really appreciated that, honestly.
Like, honestly, it's just even you'll just slip in, "Yeah, so when I worked for," and I'm like, "Wait, when did you do this?" And you're like, "When I was the king of," like, "Wait, when did you do this? Like, where was I? Look, we didn't even get to that, or maybe that would come out season 3 or something,
Look.
but who knows?" But tell everyone from Summer House Martha's Vineyard, you will see all the time on Threads and Instagram that someone would randomly decide to make a post or
Yeah.
beg for y'all back. We're gonna continue to do that.
Oh,
So I'm sorry, there y'all just gonna have to do always be the people from Black Summer House to
no,
us.
and
So
I ain't mad at it at all. Yeah.
thank you so much for talking with me, and thank you guys for listening. This episode will be out probably what's today? Tuesday? It'll be out Tuesday night. So y'all enjoy this. Have a great week. We'll be back to talk traders next week. Bye.